Today I want to change fractions to decimals. We've talked a lot in class about how fractions and decimals are two different ways to show the same amount in math. And I talk about how apple in English is manzana in Spanish. So we have different ways of talking about the exact same thing. So I like to say fractions and decimals are the two different languages of math. So we're going to start with a fraction form and we are going to translate it into the decimal language. So first, I'm going to translate 6/10 into a decimal. Okay. So first, I need to find the tenths place. The easiest way to do it is start with a decimal point. And I have 1 0 in 10, which means I get to place a number one place after the decimal. I have no whole number, so I can put a 0 in front. And the 6 is going to hop into the last place I can fill in. And the last place I can fill in is my tenths place. So 6/10 is a fraction is equal to 6/10 as a decimal. Let's do another one. Let's do 8/10. First, I see I have no holes. 8/10 is less than one hole, so I can write 0 point. And I have one decimal place to fill. Why one decimal? Because I have 1 0. So that is my tenths place. What number is going to hop in? The 8 is going to hop in. So my answer, 8/10, written as a fraction, looks like this, and 8/10 written as a decimal looks like that. Let's get a little more complicated. Let's do hundredths. Now, if you notice with hundredths, we don't have 1 0, we have 2 zeros. So my decimal is going to have 2 places after it to fill in. 13 hundredths I know is less than 1. So I can put my 0 in right away to make it clearer. Now I have 2 places to place the 13, so I'm going to line up the 3 with the back digit, and then the 1 is going to hop in front. 13 hundredths as a fraction, 13 hundredths as a decimal. In the case of math, we call them exactly the same thing, they just look different. Okay, let's do another one. 58 hundredths as a fraction. First, I look, 58 is smaller than 100, so there will be no whole numbers. I get 2 decimal places to fill in. I'm going to line up the 8 with the back one and then fill in the 5 in front. 58 hundredths and 58 hundredths as a fraction, as a decimal. Let's try another. What happens, Mrs. Collins, though, when we get something like 4 hundredths? Well, we do it exactly the same way. First, I know 4 is less than 100, so this is less than a whole. So I can write 0 point. Now, how many decimal places do I get? 2. The 4 needs to go all the way to the back. Now, how do I keep him from moving forward? Because I need the 4 to stay in the hundredths place. I'm going to add in a 0 to keep him in his place. So 4 hundredths as a fraction, 4 hundredths as a decimal. Let's do another one. Nine hundredths. Less than a whole, so I can write 0. I get 2 decimal places, so I get 2 decimal places. The 9 I line up with my last place. I have no other digits to fill in, so I'm going to stick a 0 so the 9 stays in his spot. He's got to stay in that hundredths place. 9 hundredths is equal to 9 hundredths.